Hi, hello, welcome back to the class everyone. Today we are going to learn today we are going to learn about the repetition. Repetition is statement. How to write a repetition statement. Right. So let us examine how repetition structures are used when the number of repetitions is known in advance. You should get it here, okay? When you know the number of repetition in advance, how to use a repetition structure, right? Understood it well, right? So here you know the repetition numbers, how many times it's going to repeat, you know that 5 times or 10 times or 100 times, you know the repetition number in advance. When you know the repetition, or when you know the number of repetitions, we use the for do structure in repetition structure, right? So for do structure. So there are two methods. We'll see the first method. So for an example, here we are giving for variable is value 1 to value 2 do the value 1 to value 2, do it. I am telling, okay? You will get it better when I go to the next one, okay? Right. So here there are some rules. When you are using for do structure, there are some rules. First one, the data type of variable value 1 and value 2, they should be integers. You know the meaning of integer, right? So the value 1 and value 2, they should be integer. They should be int. Okay. The value of value 2, the value of value 2 should be larger than value 1 to start repetition. If you want to start the repetition here, the value 2 should be larger than the value 1. That is the second one. Third one, repetition is started with value 1 and ended with value 2. So it starts with the value 1 and goes till the value 2. Hence, for do structure can be used when the number of repetitions are known in advance. So the structure for do, we use the structure for do when the repetition number is already known in advance to us. If it is already known, the repetition numbers, then we use the for do structure. So for an example, this is the repetition structure. They say for x, okay, to obtain the x, do 1 to 5, do it. To obtain the x, you should do 1 to 5, do. So here the starting value is 1. Okay. Here the starting value is 1 and the ending value is 5. Okay. A question will be coming from this part. Okay. There will be a question from this part. So you should understand this repetition structure. So here the starting value is 1. The ending value is 5. So how many numbers will be repeated here? 5 numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It starts from 1 and ends from 5. That means there will be 5 repetition numbers. Okay. Here 0 to 4 do. Do it from 0 to 4. So 0, it is also will be printed. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 numbers will be repeated. 5 to 10. 5 to 10 means starts the value from 5 and it does till the 10th one. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6 times will be repeated. So when we write a repetition structure using the for to do, okay, for do, when we are using this for do structure, this is how we write a Pascal code. Okay, for an example, printing the values from 1 to 10. So I am going to tell the program to print value from 1 to 10. You should print 1 to 10. So imagine when I tell to you, write down in your book numbers from 1 to 10 means uh, you are writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and it goes till 10. So you will write numbers from 1 to 10, right? If I tell you this is structure. So now the same structure I am going to tell it to the computer. So when I tell the computer, I am telling, okay, the program, what is the program? Print 10 numbers. Print 10 NOS. Print 10 NOS mean print 10 numbers. So there are input and output. As usual, you know, input and output, it is not necessary to write, but if you write also, it's okay. Then you know that this particular program, it has inputs and outputs also, because there are some programs, it will show the output only, no inputs. But here we are going to input things and also we'll get the output also. Okay, finish. I told you this is a must. It should be there, the semicolon. Wow. Variable. Now I am going to tell about the variable. So there is a variable count. Okay. There is a variable called count. This count is an integer. Statement. Finish. Now I am beginning my program. Begin for count. That means this count, for count, do. For count is 1 to 10 do. Then right line the count. Then right line the count. So here in this particular program, what happens? The count variable value is changed, right? It will be changed. The count. This count variable will change. The values will change. It comes as 1. Then it change and it will be 2. It will be 3, 4, 5, 6 until 10. So 1 to 10 while printing the output values. It prints all the output values and to loop is executed 10 times. So this loop, this is a loop. This is a what? This is a loop. Loop means what? Loop means it is happening again and again. So this loop will be happening how many times? 10 times. Okay. Can everyone see the program here? So this is the program. Okay. So the program's name, print 10 numbers. This is a loop. Okay. This is a loop. Loop means repeating, happening. So these are two loops. So this will happen until it satisfies. What is it satisfied? Means I am now telling to the program. Okay, now I hope you can understand these two lines, because we repeatedly learned these two lines. Okay, this first line is the name of the program. So the name of the program is print 10 numbers. There are some variables. There are some variables. Count. So the variable is count. It is integer. Integer, you know what is an integer? Real numbers. Sorry, integer. What is an integer? I told you. Tell me someone. It is numbers, right? Okay. Here my program is here, beginning from here. It begins from here. So I am telling begin. Now begin. For count, okay, to satisfy this count is equal to 1 to 10 do. 1 to 10 do means repeatedly do that. Do from 1 to 10 until the count is satisfied. Then write down the count. So write down the count means I am telling to the program for count, to satisfy the count, the integer, the count, the variable I told you before. that count is equal 1 to 10 do it from 1 to 10. So give me the numbers from 1 to 10. Now see, when I execute this program, you can remember after writing this program and I compile it. Okay, I translate it, compile it, then I am running it. When I run it, see here what happens. It shows the numbers from 1 to 10. Okay, we'll say here like 50 to 80. Okay, there are many numbers will come, right? So we'll say 50 to 70. Enough. So I am telling the count is equal to 50 to 70 do. 50 to 70 do means it starts from 50 and does the numbers until 70. Now see what happens here. It is repeating, right? Until the count satisfies, it gives me all the numbers. It repeats here. That is the repetition here. Now I am running. See here what happens. So, see here what happens. From 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, and it goes until 70. So if you are using the for do structure, if you are using the for do structure, first rule, you should be sure how many repetition values will be there or repetition numbers will be there. You should be sure about that. Then only you can use the for do repetition, the repetition code, okay? Or the repetition structure. You can use the repetition structure if you are sure about the number of repetitions. Second one, the value, the second value. Now there will be two values here, right? See, 50 to 40 do. So when you are using like this, the second value should be greater than the first value. So we can't use 50 to 40. So the second value should be greater. It can be 51. 51 is greater than 50, right? So it can be 51 also. If I use the 51, see what happens. 50 till 51, it will happen. It will show me 50 and 51. I told, do it from 50 to 51. So it will show me. Okay? Right. Fine. The next rule, repetition is started with value 1. When the repetition is started here, it starts from 50, right? So the 50 also will be printed. That one you should know. If you use the for do structure, the first value also will be printed. So the first value starts with the first value and ends with the second value. Now let's go to the second method, the for do loop. For variable equal to value 1 down to value 2, do. In this situation, the value of value 1 should be smaller than the value 2. Okay? Okay. So here the value 2 should be smaller than the value 1. Understood? There is a small mistake here. இது வந்து தலைகீழா நடக்கிறது. This happens upside down. Okay? So here you use the down to. First நாங்க வந்து I told you in the first method we should go with the smaller number then goes to the larger number, right? So the second value should be greater than the first value. Here the second value should be smaller than the first value. For an example, and also repetition is started with value 1 and ended with value 2. For an example, the structure, repetition structure here is 4x, 10 down to 5 do. So here see, the value 1 is larger than the value 5, right? If you are using a book, if you have a book, check in your book whether this is same like this or not. Okay, so here the value of value 1 should be smaller than value 2 to start repetition. It is wrong, right? 10 down to 5 do means it starts with the value 10 and ends with the value 5. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So how many numbers will be repeated there? 6 numbers. 4 down to 0 do. So 4, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 5 numbers will be repeated. I will show you a Pascal program. We'll do it here. Okay. So this will change here. We'll say 100 down to down to down to 80 do. 100 down to 80 do. So it goes in descending order. Appadithane descending order. In the first one it is ascending order. This one is descending order. So if it is goes with the descending order, 4 down to do. If it is ascending order, 4 to do. Now we'll see. We'll compile it. Okay. Run it. Can you see? We'll show. What happened? 100, 99, 98, 97, 96, 95, it goes till 80. It starts with the 100 and ends with the 80. Okay. So questions might come. If you use down to, what happens? Okay. They will ask you, what happens with the repetition structure? Okay. For do repetition structure, what it happens? And with the 4 down to do, what happens? So if you use 4 to do means ascending order, from the small it will go to the up one. If it is used 4 down to do, it comes with the descending order, from the biggest largest number to the smallest number. Now understood? This program is finding the total and average of 10 numbers. Finding total and average of 10 numbers. So here, programs, what is the name of the program? Total average. So here I am going to put inputs and outputs. Va I, there is I, num, there are numbers, and there is a total. These are integer. Okay, these are integer. There is an average. It is also a variable and it is real. It is real. Begin. So when you begin the program, the total will be 0. It is fresh now. So it will be 0. Now I am telling the structure. For I, okay, to satisfy this I, for I, 1 to 10 do. 1 to 10 do. I am telling. To satisfy this I, 1 to 10 do. Begin. So there are 2 blocks here. 2 block statements. So this is a statement. In this statement, they are telling right line enter number. So now here you should enter the number. When you enter the number, what the computer should do? Read the number. When I enter the number, it reads the number. Then what it does, it adds the number I added to the program with the total. It adds. So for an example, we'll say I entered the number here, number 1. Okay. Then it reads the number 1 and this num is 1, right? And the total is 0 for now. So it will calculate this total as how? 0 plus 1. So here now the total, what is the total? 1. Okay. So then here I should enter 10 numbers, right? To satisfy the I. Then it will show me the average. What is the average? The total is divided by I, and then it shows me the total and the average. We'll do it in the Pascal program and we'll see what is happening. So as it is given in your book, total is 0. For I equal 1 to 10 do, begin, right line, enter number, then read the number, total equal to total plus number. Average, total divide by I, right line, total is equal, it shows me the total, then it will show me the average. We'll see. Entered 50. Okay. Now I am entering 55. Oh, sorry. See here. Enter number. Now I am entering 50. Then it will tell me enter number. Again I should enter the number. 65. Again I should enter a number. 85. Like this, now tell me how many times I should enter the numbers. Someone tell me. எத்தனை முறை இந்த நம்பர்ஸ் நான் ரிப்பீட் பண்ணி என்டர் பண்ணி கொண்டே போகணும்? Yeah, 10. 10 முறை நான் நம்பர்ஸ் என்டர் பண்ணணும். Okay, okay. We'll see. Now see what happened. So here we use okay. So here we use for do. We use for do loop when we know the number of repetitions in advance. We use the for do loop or structure. But when the number of repetition is not known in advance, we don't know how many times the numbers will be repeated, then how to use it? We use while do or repeat until structures. You should keep it in mind. Okay, if you know the number of repetition or how many repetitions will be repeated in the structure, then you use the for do loop. And we learned that there are two methods of for do loop. Okay, one is ascending order, one is descending order. Now you don't know the repetition numbers, how many times it will be repeated, you don't know. Then you will use the while do or the repeat until structure will be used. Okay, now we'll see the while do loop. Conditions are checked at the beginning of the loop. So at the beginning of the loop, the condition will be checked. Statements inside the loop are executed. That is a loop that runs forever. Only if the condition is true. So if the condition, there will be a condition. If the condition is true, only the loop will execute. Statements inside the loop never executed if the condition is false. If the condition is false, then your loop will never be executed. The condition becomes false at the end of the repetition. It does everything and then only it will check whether it is a false statement or a true statement. So the condition becomes false at the end of the repetition. If the condition doesn't become false while the repetition is executed, it will be an infinite loop. Infinite loop means it won't finish. There is no end. while number greater than 0 do. If the number is greater than 0 do. While number greater than 0 do. Here repetition is executed if only the value of the variable number is positive. So here the number, if it is positive, only it will be executed, the repetition. If we'll say you put the number as -1, then it won't execute. If you put the number 1, then your loop will be executed. Your repetition will be executed. Number equal 1. While number less than or equal to 10 do. Number equal number plus 1. What are they going, or what is the meaning of this structure? Here when I enter the number, it is 1. First number is entered. So it will be, see here, condition is true since the starting value of the variable number is 1. So it is true, right? In the இடத்துல 1. If it is 1 here, this condition is true, right? This one. Number less than or equal to 10. True thane? So it will be executed. Hence, the repetition is executed. Each time loop is executed. What is loop? The repetition is the loop. Okay, loop means it is happening. Adhan loop pandra. So each time loop is executed, 1 is added to the value of number. So now first loop is happening. Adhane 1 and pottikira 0 and podrilla. First number nan add panni konde tha start pandra. I am starting. So it starts with the number 1. So 1 is less than or equal to 10. Okay, correct. So it goes here and adds another one here. It comes 2. Then 2 less than or equal to 10. It is correct, right? Now again it is adding 1 here. So here 2, right? 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3 less than or equal to 10. Yes, the statement is true. Then 3 plus 1, 4. 4 is less than or equal to 10. Statement is correct. Again 5. 5 plus 1. 5 less than or equal to 10. True. And the madri it goes. It repeats. The loop will go on. When here, okay, it comes like that, and then we'll say here 10 less than or equal to 10. Yes, clear. It is true. 10 plus 1, 11. Now 11 less than or equal to 10. Do. No. The statement is false. Then the repetition will be stopped. Now understood? Hence, loop is executed when the value of number is 10 or less than 10. Loop, when will the loop stop? The loop will be stopped when the value of the number variable is 11. Then it is false, right? It should stop. Then it will stop. Now you understood? This is the while do loop. Next one, repeat until structure. There is a repeat until structure. Condition is not checked at the beginning of the loop. The condition is not checked at the beginning of the loop. Condition is checked after the statements are executed once. So the condition will be checked when it is executed one time. When it is executed once, the condition will be checked. But when it begins for the first time, it is not checking. Loop is started if the condition is false only. So here, the while do loop is the while do while do loop is executed until if it is true only it will be executed. If it is false, it will stop, right? Here, loop is started if the condition is false only. Loop stops when the condition becomes true. Upside down of the while do loop. Okay, repeat until. For an example, count equal to 0, I am telling. Repeat. Right line Pascal. So it will write Pascal to me. Count is equal to count plus 1. So here what I am doing? I am adding, right? Adding something with the count. Now count is 0. Then 0 plus 1, 2. 0 plus, 0 plus 1, 2. Then 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. I am telling until the count greater than 5. Repeat until count greater than 5. I am in the end, I am telling the structure. I am telling the statement at the end of the program. Here, at the beginning of the program, when it is executed, I am telling, check the loop, then do it. Here I am telling, check the loop at the end of the program. You do it, then check the loop at the end of the program. Now understood? So the starting value of count variable is 0. The word Pascal is displayed on the screen. You know that. 1 is added to the count variable. It is checked whether the value of count variable is larger than 5. Loop is executed till the value of the count variable becomes 5. Until this becomes 5, it will be executed. It will go on. Loop stops when the value of count is 6. When it comes there 6, then 6 is greater than 5. Yes, true. Then it will stop. Until the count becomes greater than 5, then stop the program. When the loop stops, the word Pascal is displayed 6 times on the screen. Right. Second one. Sum is equal to 0. Repeat. Sum equal sum plus 5. Right line sum. Until sum less than 50. So the sum should come less than 50. Then it will stop. Until sum less than 50. Okay, like this. The starting value of some variable is 0. 5 is added to the value of sum. It is automatically adding the 5. The value of sum is 5 and it is displayed on the screen. So first sum is 5. Here, first sum is 5. It will show me 5. Okay. Then here this 0 changes into 5. 5 plus 5 is 10, right? Second number will be 10. Here 10. 10 plus 5, 15. Third number will be 15. It will show me in the screen 15. It will print 15. 15 plus 5, 20. So likewise, it will add the numbers accordingly and comes until it comes 50. Then the sum, here the sum is less than 50. Then it will stop. Right? So here it is checked whether the value of some variable is less than 50. The condition sum less than 50 is satisfied. True. Hence loop stops. Sum 0. Repeat sum plus 5. Right line sum until sum greater than or equal to 50. So the sum should come It should be equal to 50 or greater than to 50. அப்பதான் அது என்ன நடக்கிற true ஆகி நிக்கிற. Okay. The starting value of some variable is 0. 5 is added to the value of sum. The value of sum is displayed on the screen. It is checked whether the value of some variable is greater than or equal to 50. Loop is executed till sum less than or equal to 50 condition is satisfied. அது satisfy ஆகும் வரைக்கும் என்ன நடக்கிற repeat ஆகிக்கொண்டே இருக்கிற. Right? இது satisfy ஆகலன்னு சொன்ன. Okay, wait. When the loop stops, the value of sum is 50. இந்த இடத்துல 50 வரும். வந்தோடனே என்ன நடக்கிற? The loop will be stops. The loop will stop. Loop is executed 10 times here. 10 time execute ஆனா எத்தனை வரும்? ஸ்கிரீன்ல எந்தெந்த நம்பர் எனக்கு காட்டும்? Multiples of 5 from 5 to 50 will be given as outputs. So 5, 10, 15 அந்த மாதிரி என்ன நடக்கும்? It will show me the multiples of 5 until 50. So 10 times 10 numbers will be output, right? Will be the output. 10 time output ஆவி 11 time எனக்கு output காட்டாது. Because the statement is true. When the statement is satisfied, it will stop. The nested control structures. So nested control structures mean there will be combination of control structures. We learned about 3 control structures, right? Until now, we learned all the control structures separately, isn't it? Here, 2 control structures will be coming together. For an example, repetition inside a selection control structure. Okay? And selection in repetition control structure. Inside, there are 2 control structures. That is called nested control structure. It is nested. You know what is a nest, right? It is like nested. Nested means there are a lot of things inside. Like that, this there will be a repetition inside a selection and then a selection inside a repetition. 2. Repetition inside selection, selection inside repetition. Inside an algorithm, a control structure or structures may be included inside another. You know that, right? It can be like that. We can select, then there will be a repetition. There will be a repetition, then will be a selection. Like that, we can include them. For example, a repetition loop may be included inside another repetition. A repetition loop can be included inside another repetition. Similarly, a selection may be included inside another selection. Hence, nested controlling structure should be used in programming. So, in programming, we are using this nested control structure. So, in nested controlling structures, the first one is the repetition inside selection. There will be a selection inside the, there will be a repetition inside the selection. A repetition may be executed depending on a condition of a selection being satisfied or not. For an example, depending on the user's selection, an ascending or descending number sequence can be produced as output as per my selection. Right? For an example here, program order numbers. There are input and outputs. So, var number is integer. There is something called cho. C-H-O, it is char. So, begin. Right line, select ascending A or descending D. So, here I should select either A or D. If I select A, the numbers will be output or printed as ascending order. If I select D, the number will be in descending order. So there are two selections right here. Select A or D. Two selections are there. Read cho. Now I am giving the cho. I am giving the character. I am giving A or D. For an example, if cho, okay, if this cho, cho, if this cho equal to A, then I am telling to the program, then begin right line ascending order. For number 1 to 6, do right line number, end. If cho is D, then begin right line descending order. For number 6 down to 1, do right line number, end, and end. So what is happening there? There are two statements, right? There is this one is a statement and this one is a statement. If I select A, what happens? It will show me the number from 1 to 6. It is ascending order, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I select D, what happens? It will show me the number from the descending order. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now understood what is this? So this is a selection. Inside the selection, there is a repetition here. Not inside, yes. Inside the selection, there is a repetition. So this is the selection. And then I am telling, if the user selects A, then do this one. If the user selects D, then do this one. Understood, everyone? Next one, selection in repetition. Let us consider how selection takes place while the repetition control structure being executed. Determining whether the numbers input by the user are odd or even, and calculating the total number of odd, even numbers separately. Okay, separately it will be added, total calculation. Program, it gives as rep underscore cell, right? Input, output. There are variables like num, rem, count, count, o count. They are integer. You should understand this variable first. Num means, num means number. Rem means reminder. Okay, when you divide the number, there will be a reminder, right? 0 or 1, whatever the reminder. So rem mean reminder. Then count. Count mean the total. There is something called e count. E count mean even number count. O count mean odd number count. So these all are integers. Begin. For count, for this count, equal 1 to 10 do. Okay, so 1 to 10. It will do the 1 to 10. 10 numbers will be output. Begin. Right line, enter number. So first time it will tell me enter a number. Now I am entering a number. Then it will read the number. Read the number. Here see, rem. The reminder is equal to num mod 2. If you can remember the mod. Num mod 2. So what is the meaning of num mod 2? The number, tell me someone. What is happening here? What is the meaning of num mod 2? Now I am entering here 1. After division, After division, the remaining. Nan 1 podra. I am entering 1. So it reads the number 1. Okay. Now here 1 mod 2. 1 mod 2 mean tell me the remaining of 1. Divide 1 by 2 and tell me the remaining. That is 1 mod 2. Okay. I am dividing the 1 by 2. Then I am giving the remaining. If rim equal to 0, if rim is equal to 0, then begin right line even number. E count equal E count plus 1. So here the E count will be changed. E count will be plus 1. End. Else, if not else, begin right line odd number O count equal O count plus 1. End. End. Then if I entered even numbers, it will show me the E count. How many, the total of the E count, and it will show me the even numbers. Then it will show me the right line O count odd numbers. Now understood? End. Till we will meet again at the next class. Thank you for joining the class, everyone, and have a nice day.